Tonight we reveal a 6-month CBS 2 News hidden camera investigation into odometer fraud. Cars that may have had the miles turned back and ended up at some of the biggest car dealers in Los Angeles. CBS 2 investigative reporter David Goldstein has the story.
How many people you think have bought used cars after you've manipulated the odometer?
This man could be responsible for people paying hundreds or thousands more than they should have for a used car. And we're talking a lot of cars.
How big do you think this is?
Very easily hundreds of vehicles based upon what you captured on film, but conceivably it could be in the thousands.
Looks like he's open for business today.
With our hidden cameras, we watched Shamai's saltpeter for 6 months outside his Woodland Hills home.
He's got the device and he's got something in his hand.
He was using a device that could illegally lower the mileage on a car, potentially increasing the value for the owner, like this man who we saw at the house. We're not revealing his identity because he hasn't been charged with a crime.
Did you have the odometer rolled back on that white Suburban?
No.
Lower miles would also raise the resale value of a used car and deceive buyers into thinking it's in better condition. Some of the cars may have unknowingly ended up in the hands of dealerships all across L.A., including one of the Southland's largest. Here's what one of them has to say.
I think this guy is a bad person. He's insidious. He's evil.
Officials call it rolling back the odometer. They say it's almost unheard of since mechanical odometers were replaced by digital readouts, which were supposed to be foolproof. But not so to saltpeter.
Whenever you're ready, let me know. I can take care of that with no problem.
Our undercover producer brought this truck to his house, and there was no doubt what he was going to do.
I mean, you're going to help me out the mileage, right?
Whatever you need, that's what I will put.
Okay.
Whenever you decide, I'm charging 200 for those.
For 200 for what?
To do the...
How much can you roll it back?
Any amount that you need.
But saltpeter was quick to point out he called it something else.
If somebody tell me, listen, I have to roll back, I'm not rolling back. I'm fixing. Because legally, I have to protect myself, you understand?
And we weren't the only ones who wanted a fix.
The Suburban just pulled in.
During our 6-month investigation, we saw saltpeter working on an endless stream of cars and collecting cash money.
Black Mercedes is now pulling in.
Luxury vehicles like Mercedes, BMWs, Jaguars, Porsches.
It's a green Ford Edge.
Other cars like Fords, Jeeps, and Toyotas.
He's taking the dashboard apart, as a matter of fact.
Sometimes we'd see him take apart the dashboard.
He got the device in his hand.
Other days he just attached this handheld device under the dash. It'd be connected for about 10 or 15 minutes and he was done.
And he's bringing up the settings for going into modifying the mileage.
We showed the video to Mike Bender. He's an auto theft expert.
This is a larger problem that anybody realizes. They don't think they're hurting anybody, and it's affecting people all the way down the line.
Some of the cars we saw were leased, which typically carry a big penalty if someone goes over the allotted mileage. Others are owned outright, like this Mercedes.
Yeah, he's got the tools in his hand.
The driver showed up at saltpeter's house in December.
He just took the side panel of the dashboard off.
He worked on the dash like the other cars, and the man drove home all the way to Compton.
How you doing? I'm David Goldstein with Channel 2 News.
A month later, we confronted him, and he denied doing anything wrong.
Did you have the odometer rolled back in your Mercedes?
No, I did not.
What did he do at your house? You were there. I'll show you the videotape.
Well, it's okay, but
You were there December 14th. You want to look at the videotape?
He's a friend of mine.
Yeah, he worked on your car.
He's a friend of mine.
He didn't want to talk and quickly drove away.
Your trunk's open.
This white Suburban showed up on December 19th.
He's definitely working on the Suburban.
Behind the trees, saltpeter hooked up the device to the dash. A few minutes later, he was done, and the owner of the car drove away. Later that day, he traded the Suburban in at Mercedes-Benz of Calabasas. DMV records show he attested to the mileage. The dealership and the new owner didn't know the mileage may have been altered. We caught up to the old owner, now driving his Mercedes, and he also denied it.
What was he doing on your car?
He was actually checking because I had something wrong with my fuel injectors.
Midway through our investigation, we learned that DMV investigators got a call from people here at Galpin Ford, one of the area's largest car dealers. Galpin got a tip
that one of their salespeople may have some connection to Salpeter. They were concerned, and they're still investigating.
Are you fearful that Galpin may have sold used cars, that the odometers have been rolled back?
Well,
inadvertently.
Well, we know of one situation, and quite candidly, I think it resulted from your work, where somebody traded in a Mazda.
We videotaped the Mazda in August at Salpeter's home. It was traded into Galpin a few days later, taken in by that same salesperson. Galpin is also looking into 2 other cars that the salesperson took as a trade. Galpin cooperated with DMV and provided 2 cars for undercover officers to attempt to get the mileage rolled back. One of them was this Honda. It had 63,863 miles when it went in. After Salpeter took the dashboard apart and investigators paid him $150, it came back with 32,614. That's more than 31,000 miles rolled back. If it was sold, no one would have ever known.
Please, search warrant pending entry. Face the fence, face the fence.
A few weeks later, Salpeter was arrested.
We had one of our undercover producers here. You offered to roll back the odometer for $200.
I never. I fix them, I fix the odometer.
It seems the fixing is good business. Police found $3,500 in cash in his pocket. They also found computers and the handheld device in his garage.
Mr. Salpeter, how many consumers have been ripped off by you rolling back odometers?
No one knows the answer to that question, as investigators suspect every single one of these cars with the odometers rolled back will eventually end up at a used car lot near you.
Are you ripping people off by rolling back odometers?
David Goldstein, CBS 2 News.
For more information on how to protect yourself from odometer fraud, just go to cbsla.com and click on Seen on TV.